Hi, besties. Thank you for joining this week. I have my dear friend Georgio back as promised. Georgio Takounakis, thank you for joining me to talk Orange County today.
I'm so excited to be back. I'm so glad we're doing this. It's so much lighter content, so I welcome it. Yes.
It is so very welcomed. And speaking of heavier content, we were just talking about um, the insanity that has been going on between the content creators. There seems to be some infighting.
Yes.
I was almost wondering if I don't know if it's that there's not enough intense content for some of them. I should say us because we are content creators, and so we technically fall into that community, but we're not in the infighting. What are your thoughts on this happening?
I just wanted to stop, guys. I don't listen. I think we all have our perspective on stuff, and I think that's what makes our community great. And I kind of view us as like the CNN of,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, Fox and CNN, there's, I hate to do this and I'll probably get bashed for it, but I view the Teresa fans as Fox News. You know what I mean? Oh God, they're gonna. I can already
you will
hear
not get
them
bashed
coming.
No,
no,
because
someone will share this with the Trey fans.
Oh my God.
And they will. I hear them coming now. They're like losing. They're like sparking. They're like literally. They malfunction when you don't agree, and so that's scary. But to the content creators, let's try to keep it with what's happening on the show. I get things happen between content creators. I get it, but it gets too messy. It gets too messy, and I do blame this on Real Housewives of New Jersey. This is the impact.
Yeah, and I know some of you are going to be like, "Which content creators?" You guys have to. Here's the thing: we're not going to call out the content creators. What we are just going, because we're not like that. We're not going to dedicate entire podcasts to talking about other people, other content creators, because we're here to talk shit on Bravo Lebs and celebs and all of that. Those are it's a different thing, right? It's different.
Well, and also, Tammy Tam is like, she has time today because, I open Twitter and I'm just like, boom. And then boom. And I'm like, oh my God. She's like, she's not even talking about the show. She's just like, you know what? Leave me alone. You're obsessed with me. I can just hear her like writing the tweet. You know what I mean? So it's just like, okay, so Tam has our number. So let's try not to piss her off, which I'm enjoying Tamra. I know some people are like, I'm reading comments. People are like, get her off the show.
No.
But are you kidding? You guys begged for her to come. You guys made a huge mistake the first time around. Yep. She went away. And then the whole 2 seasons or 3 seasons in between, whatever it was, you guys all were like, we need to bring Tamra back. This is so boring. Bring Tamra back. So they're like, no, we'll bring Heather back. And they're like, oh, I'm so sick of fancy pants. Bring Tamra back. Then they bring Tamra back and everyone's like, I'm not watching until you get rid of Tamra. It's like, why? What is it you guys want exactly? What do you want? You want her to come back and be calm and zen and say that she's boring and bringing nothing. Then she's doing her job, in my opinion.
Agreed.
And people are like, oh, she's so obnoxious. It's like, that's the point. We're on a reality show. What do you want her to do? Like, it's just maddening sometimes.
I agree. No, I totally agree because, she came in ready to earn that paycheck on episode 2. That's for damn sure. And then she pleasantly surprised me with the apology to Shannon. And now listen, I like Shannon too, because I think Shannon is the perfect mix of kooky that we need. She cracks me up. And then, I mean, like, come on, you guys. What more could you ask from a housewife than one who had jewels, like actual crystals, implanted in her teeth to feng shui her mouth? That is what I want. Okay. I need that.
We went out. Shannon Bedore, I literally went out and switched all the bowls of fruit to lemons when you came on this show. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to need to crystallize my mouth, bejewel it or whatever, because apparently feng shui for your mouth is something. So thanks to Shannon for whatever you got to do, babe. Listen, I love Shannon. She's kooky. First of all, did you see that Bravo thing that she did?
Yeah.
She's like, these are not my legal pads, you fucking bitch.
Not my sticky notes, you fucking bitch.
Was pissing my pants. I'm like, I wonder if she had to not know how iconic that one line of her shoving the plate at Kelly Dodd was going to be, because that is hilarious.
You know, the thing is, whenever they know that it's an iconic line, it never ends up landing anyway. You know what I mean?
It's so true.
It's only when they don't know. And that's the beauty of it, man. And you know, that's the thing that's so interesting about Tamara being back is she's kind of a little bit in the content creator world of podcasting about all of it. And so I wonder if, because we haven't really had that until I really feel like Tamara was in it. And we had, you know, like Robin and Giselle doing their podcast, but they weren't necessarily commenting on the shows. None of these, you know, Housewives or Bravo Libs were commenting on the shows in the way that they have been. And I feel like Tamara kind of pioneered that. And I know a lot of people, you and I have discussed this before, a lot of people don't like Teddy. I don't mind Teddy. So I never did. I just, you know, I just think that seeing Tamara go after, oh my God, like it's different. I'm kind of like, you know, we're more, everyone's a little, maybe more equal playing ground, but not quite, because she's still Tamara Judge, you know, like I'm not gonna
No, totally. I mean, it's definitely, Shannon has kind of gotten to a space where I feel like she's earned her way and she feels confident, you know, being in this situation now, because she's been on for quite some time. And the break, I think, was good for Tamara. I think Tamara would agree. However, I want to point out something, because I saw something on Twitter. I don't remember who said it, but someone asked, why would you bring your friend on just to trash her on the show? And I have an answer to that, because Tamara said that she had no idea that Jenn was going to be on the show until she was on the show. Now, if Tamara's making that up, then but she said this. I don't remember where she said, if it was Page 6 or something, they were interviewing her. And she was like, yeah, no, it was interesting. Yeah, we have been friends. She used to come to Cut Fitness, blah, 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 the things we already know. But I think Tamara's doing her job. So if that is true, if I got on a show and realized one of my good friends was also going to be on it, and listen, the other thing too, guys, production sometimes tells people you can't tell anyone, right? Because it's in their contract, and we've seen this in the past. I don't recall her name, but she was, I think, season 4 Beverly Hills. She was supposed to be a full-timer. The one that didn't like her husband, the one that kept being like, I wish, you know, he's more my. Do you remember her when Brandy was on there and Brandy got triggered by her and was like, I don't know why you keep saying that your husband's not good enough. It was the same season that Faye was like, you can rent all the Chanel bags you want, but you will never, ever be a lady. It was that season. I don't remember. But anyways, she was supposed to be a full-time housewife. And before the season aired, she was at a party, or I think it was at Kyle by Eileen too, was having a party. She was doing press and she slipped and she was like, yes, I'm going to be a full-time housewife. And then I think the next day or 2 days, they were like, nope, you lost your diamond. You're not supposed to tell anybody anything. So that was a while ago. So I don't know. Jenn may have been in a situation where she couldn't talk about it. And it could have been for a good reason. Maybe they wanted to surprise Tamara, because Tamara was going to have her big comeback to the show. Yeah. And so they wanted to make it as whatever. But now we're back to last night's episode, which was really interesting. There was one part that I don't know if you're going to bring it up, but I definitely want to bring this up, because there's a moment where Tamara is her friend and she leans into her and she's like, tell the truth. Yep. And it wasn't because she was being messy. I think she was saying, you're new here. Do not wash this story over, because production already knows it and they will expose you and edit you in a way that's going to make you look crazy. So I think she was being her friend. She could have easily sat there and let her go on her little, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And no, you're right. And that was the thing too, that I did notice that as well, that she said that to her, because here's the thing is, it's like, we've seen this happen time and time again, where the newbie, we saw it on Jersey with Danielle Cabral, where they're like, you have to just own what's going on in your life. Because to me, it's very clear. You either get to own your narrative or production's going to own it for you. So which one do you want? And that's really what you have to stop and realize. Now, Tamara does, and this is something I've said before, Tamara as a friend to me can be a little, listen, I'm not putting my friend's business out there in the way she does. I'm not going to openly do that, especially if I'm trying to make up with someone. When, like we talked about with this lunch she had with Shannon. But that being said, I also think that Tamara, she's there. She will have her friends back when she sees fit. And if she sees fit, that is definitely a great person to have on your side, because they will go. She's someone who will tear into whoever it is, and she's not afraid of it. But I mean, should we just kind of start with? Let's just jump in. Let's get into it.
Yeah,
because I mean, why not? So Heather Page Kent is going back into acting. We get that. So, and that's where we just starting there, but cut where Tamara and Jenn are talking about the night before, and we get more of the backstory from Tamara, eventually more so in later in the episode. But, on how I guess like Tamara didn't think Jenn and Ryan were acting on their flirtations at cut. They were like in the sauna and, had no idea. And I guess that they stopped talking for a little bit because Tamara was not too happy that Ryan is the one who told Tamara about the affair so this is weird to me too, though, because Tamara said, I'm not friends with Ryan, I'm friends with Jenn, but Ryan was on vacation with her and Eddie in Cabo.
Yeah, why was he in Cabo with you if he's not your friend? Was he? Now, I don't know if she clarified, was he just there? But it sounded like they went together, no?
Yeah.
Like they were together on the trip, which is why he brought it up.
Wasn't there a picture with them on a private plane, or did I make that up in my mind? I don't know. Maybe I made that up in my mind because, I was taking notes.
No, that could be true. No, it was definitely, it definitely sounded like they had gone together. Which was odd, because she's like, we're not friends with him. We're friends. I think what she was trying to say is I'm closer to Jenn than I am Ryan. So I expected her, and I agree. I think Jenn should have given her the heads up if that was going to happen.
Do you know what's funny, though? I just remembered this. Oh my God. It's possible that they ran into him because a person I was friends with was in Mexico and saw Tamara and Eddie and someone else. And I want to say it was around the pandemic time. Yeah. Oh. And I remember because this was before I had the podcast, and my friend was texting me and I was like, oh, you saw Tamara in Mexico? Oh my God. And I was just like, oh, and I was so jealous. And I guess like Tamara was just like wanting to go back to the room. She was tired. I don't know. Anyway, this is a random memory. That's why if you saw a distant look in my eyes, that's what I was suddenly remembering. And I'm pretty sure it was during that time. So you know what? I wonder if that's the trip. How weird. Oh my gosh. All roads.
It could be.
Anyway, sorry. Back to earth, Caitlin. God damn. I did take my ADHD medication today, but some days are easier than others.
Some days it just doesn't work.
You know what? You're right.
No, it doesn't. Some days you're just like, okay, I'm out here, I guess. We'll see how it goes.
I know. So also the irony of Tamara saying that she felt like having a beer for breakfast that morning after the boat and all of that. It's like, weren't you just calling Shannon an alcoholic? Isn't that like one of the first questions they ask you? Like, if you're going to therapy or something and they want to gauge, what your like substance levels are throughout the week. Have you ever had a drink to get rid of a hangover the next morning or whatever, like maybe it was just my therapist that was asking me. But that's like one of the first things they ask you when they're doing intake. And like, yeah, Tamara, that's a little backwards there.
But that's the pettiness that I love about this whole thing is that she's calling Shannon an alcoholic, but then in the next episode she's saying, I wanted a beer to get it over my, you know what I mean? Like, it's classic. It's so petty.
Oh my God. John making Shannon climb across the driver's seat out of the car because of the tall curbs. Oh my God, John. Can you that
big
was
mistake, John.
What the? Listen, it was just so Shannon to. Oh my God, are you serious? Okay.
Shannon.
Oh no, my Spanx are showing. And just like, Shannon. First of all, I would have been like, then pull away from the curb. Let me out.
Pull out. I'll get out. I'm not climbing with cameras looking up my ass. Are you kidding me? No. Sorry, John. Not happening.
And so I think it was because of that afterward. Anytime he called her sweetie, I was like, sweetie? And I don't know if you watched the Never Before Seen version. I think that's like, if you watch on demand, that's literally all you get is the Never Before Seen. Because when they go into the shop and they're like figuring out what John's sign is, which is, I think he's a Scorpio, like me.
Yeah, but there's a huge difference between a Scorpio man and a Scorpio woman.
Probably. I hope so.
No, there is.
So we get, and so Tamara ends up FaceTiming Shannon right in the middle of Shannon being like, I'm just so empathic. I take everybody's stuff in. And the shop owner is like one of those people that just like repeats back everything you say right back to you. You know what I mean? You just take in everything. I do. I take in you take in everything.
She's like, I've never done this type of reality TV. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say, so I'm just going to repeat back everything you say.
Pretty much. You know who else does that though too is Andy Cohen. Sometimes does that. I don't know if you've ever noticed, like, like especially when he was in that one-on-one with like Rachel Leviss, and he's like, what did she? It was something like she said, I just didn't think that, I don't know, Ariana knew, or I don't know. She just didn't want to know. She just didn't want to know. Like, anyway, that took me too long to spit that out. So, Tamara FaceTime Shannon, and I appreciated that she was like full on apologizing, and she was so tearful about it, and so like, oh, thank you. You know, I appreciated that genuine apology.
I think, what I really like the most about Tamara's return is she's working her shit out on camera with people. And that's what, listen, she, lover or hater, she's good for the show, man. I don't care what anyone says. She needed that break because she came back. She's working her issues out on camera like they all should be doing with each other. However, she's following the conflict resolution formula in a very, very good way and still entertaining us. And I love it. I can't tell you like how pleasantly surprised I am, because when the trailer came out, I was like, man, they're slicing a bunch of random stuff together, and this is going to be another one of those seasons. But then the new, like, it wasn't a trailer, but it was kind of like an updated trailer or something where they show her riding the bike back to her house and they're giving us all these stuff. Then I was like, oh, well, why wasn't this in the original trailer, guys? Like, this would have been perfect. But
because they heard. I think they heard what was being said and how it wasn't doing justice to what we're getting so far, you know?
Yes. So thank you, producers.
Yeah. Oh, God. Okay. So Taylor is an actress. Okay.
Enough!
Listen, there's so much to be said here. What?
I'm sorry. I just picture, like, instead of the director calling cut, like, she just like, enough! Enough! It's not that funny. I don't know why. But it's
No,
just
it is funny
also
because
that I didn't know that she was an actor or that she was trying to get into acting.
well, it's someone in Oklahoma where she's from. Again, y'all know I'm from Oklahoma. Now, let me also preface this. There actually have been quite a few productions filming in Oklahoma because the
It's,
taxes are
it's
cheaper.
cheaper.
Yes, it is just less expensive in general. And you know, it's yeah. Okay, so that being said, I know she God bless her, because this show Taylor did not know what was going on when she was I just am it's beyond me. To play a news anchor, but she asked Heather if she wanted to join when this other person dropped out. And as annoying as Heather's like monologuing on all the things that needed to be sorted out, she wasn't wrong. Like the number one question first was, is this union? Because listen, it was not easy to get into the union because that when I first started acting, it was like, oh, you have to be union. You need to be union. You don't want to be non-union. And I did everything I could to get into that union. Okay. And then if you do a non-union project, you can get kicked out of the union. So you can't do a non-union project. You cannot work a non-union project unless you are in what's called FICOR. And FICOR is what people like George Clooney, what clearly Alec Baldwin is doing, and things that happen on a set that is non-union are the type of things that can happen on the set of Rust because there were no union standards. There were not enough people in production regulating that the arms. So that being said, okay, I do get where Heather was coming from. She could have stopped at a certain point. You know, yes, there are reshoot. Like, you don't always get the reshoot dates ahead of time. Like, she's Heather. It's not anyway.
Okay. I know that was a little much. It's like, okay, I get the union thing because you clarified. I didn't know that.
A lot of
but
people
the rest of it, like the reshoot times, really, we're not going to know that until we've gotten into it, girl. Like, what are you talking about? And how busy are you really?
I mean, I know she's asking a lot of the questions her agent would ask, but still, it was just like, but Heather, it's probably going to be a SAG. If it's SAG, it's an ultra low budget. Your rate is going to you know what it is. It's going to be like $500 a day. Okay. And that's for the 12-hour day. So no, it's not going to be, it's clear. But she lost me whenever she said, oh, it's not like, my dad has a barn. Let's put on a show. Heather.
I cannot with Heather. I really can't. And she also is like, she really wants to get back into the swing of it too. So it's just interesting that now it's like, oh, I'm dipping my foot back in. But here are all these these things that I need ahead of time before I decide I'm going to jump into this project. It's like, ma'am.
Right. Yeah. Thought you wanted in. Okay. Hey, listen, I don't know who's knocking on her door because apparently if even Taylor Armstrong can get an acting job. Okay. So
Oklahoma, baby.
You listen,
that's where it's at now.
I never thought we would hear about Oklahoma so much on the Real Housewives of Orange County. And
me either.
I'm an Edmond Knight, so it's okay. I'm not upset about it, but I'm just that was just very interesting. And so okay, so Taylor's coach, she's she's a theater actor. And now there are differences between commercial, theatrical, and theater acting. I'm not knocking this person. Please understand that, okay? But it sounds like she was like ensemble cast in Pretty Woman. She played it didn't sound like anyway. The acting is very different. It's all the same but very different. In theater, she was trying to teach her how to speak with her diaphragm, not her hoo-ha. It was I was like, so here's me talking from my chest. Here's me talking from my diaphragm. It's a different sound. That's all. When you're speaking with your diaphragm, you speak louder and you get more breath in. However, that is a bigger thing to use for theater, and it's a different way because you don't talk that way in film. Film is intimate. Theater, you need to be heard to the back. it was,
Yeah.
but it was all, I was like, all right, maybe she's just trying to, help her a little bit. And then when she got to the blowjobs open your throat up, ma'am,
Enough!
exactly.
What's going on? She is wild. I'm telling you, people thought she was not. She's wild. She's wild.
But when Taylor said,
that was a new one
I don't
for
really
me,
know how to do that. It's like, oh, we're doing this on TV right now.
Why does everything have to be so detailed and like sometimes it's cringe a little bit. It's like I wouldn't go there. Like I just wouldn't, because I don't know how they're gonna cut it. You know what I mean? Like maybe it would have been funny, but what if they cut it and make you look like a weirdo?
But I mean, like, her coach was so like, listen, the coach knew the assignment. She said, I am going to be on the Real Housewives of Orange County. I will be the crazy acting coach. Yes. And scene.
The producers told her, they're like, can you amp it up just a little? She's like, yeah.
Done, baby. Done.
It's just like it's an acting job for her. So
it
easy.
Was. Yeah, it certainly was. And I mean, listen, maybe Emily will need to hire her for her daughter, because it sounds like her daughter was wanting to get into the business. Her daughter is stunningly beautiful. Like
so gorgeous.
Is it Annabelle or Annabella? I always forget. Is it Annabella?
I don't know why. Is it Annabella? Maybe it is Annabella. Sorry, yeah. Emily.
I know. Sorry. It's like that little girl is gorgeous.
Oh my God.
I mean, she looks like one of those photos you see of people that will put up on Instagram where it's like so heavily edited, but that's just what she's that beautiful.
She just looks like that. Yeah.
Because Emily's very pretty too. So
she's, I think people don't give honestly credit how stunning Emily actually is. And she is tall like a gazelle, and she has a gorgeous face. I think I've always thought she had a beautiful curvy body. Like I know that
her body is
through
hot.
Like losing weight, but she just has this natural curve to her that I just love. And I think also what makes her to me gorgeous is she's like a ball buster, because she's got that lawyer, inside of her. But so yeah, it makes sense why her daughter's stunning, because it's like, look, you got all these great genes,
Yeah. And I mean, Shane ain't my type, but he does have very pretty eyes. And so if you look, you can see her daughter definitely got his eyes too. So I will see. Look at us being so nice today.
I have to say, Shane grew on me. I need a little bit more of Shane. At first I was like, oh no, you are pissing me off. Get him off my TV, because he's like, but now I'm like, wait.
Yeah, he still pisses me off a bit. Like, I know it's their banter is but I mean, he's my thing is like those people that are like, oh, you better be fluent in sarcasm. Yeah, exactly. It's, I didn't find it very sarcastic when they were at that. I will never forget them being at that dinner, and he questioned her if she should be having bread. And I was like,
oh no, I was like, let me tell you something. I would have flipped that effing table, and he would have had a show. You're not going to talk to me like that on camera and not have me embarrass you, sir.
Exactly. Like, I don't care if I was crying, sobbing in the car saying, I need help losing weight. You say nothing. Like, if I said all that right before, I don't care.
Supportive. That it doesn't matter. That's not the way to go about it anyway. But you know what? I will say, I feel like Shane is comfortable in the sarcasm on camera. I don't know if he's necessarily like this all day, because I think he's already kind of anxious around the camera, and I think he found a sweet spot with her where they could actually interact, and it won't be like, I don't know, I could be making that up. And
no, I get what you're saying.
That is their love language. But I mean, she's kind of a ball buster too. Like she has a lot of masculine traits. So I see the balance, more that we see them together. So I think it works. I mean, clearly it does.
Yeah. I mean, listen, and all marriages, partnerships, they have ups and downs, whether, and I know they did. So yeah. Um, okay. So we get to the cut party and those editors, what they did to Taylor's husband when she was like, and he's hot. and, and they cut to him and it was like, shady, petty, all of it.
So shady. I'm not shocked by that, but
no, but it's still, I was like, oh well, damn. So there is something I have an issue with the fact, and this color has been in style for a little bit now. Green screen green, that color of green. Don't wear it on TV. People can put whatever they want on you, and it can do like that. The color was pretty on Emily. I'm sorry. It's just something that every time I see someone wearing that color on TV, I'm like, why are you doing that? Is this the first time? Is it your first rodeo? Because I'll tell you what.
I don't understand why. I need to understand people, like, you've been on the show, to your point. Not everything looks great on TV. So it's trial and error. I get it. But green, what you said, like, that's a meme waiting to happen. Unless you don't care and you're like, yeah, whatever. It'll be funny maybe or not. I don't know.
I love green. I'm actually wearing green now, but it's that color of green is not. Go with yellow if that color of green looks good on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know it's weird to pick that apart, but it was bothering me. Oh, and then Gina being like, "What? I expected Ryan to be taller. After hearing so much this, talk about him, I just expect him to have a little bit more stature." You are like 5'11".
Is her problem? What is her problem though? She's really like pissed off about this whole thing. She just met this woman and you're this pissed off. You don't even know the full story. We're still trying to figure out the timeline. Thank God Emily was being a lawyer at that one. She's like, no, this timeline's off.
Loved it. I was like, listen, Emily, you know what? You can host the reunions one-on-ones. Not that Andy did a bad job. I'm just saying, like, she would get in there, okay? Because she sure did. Oh, wow. And that flashback to Alexis Bellino being kicked out of Cut.
That was hilarious.
I had to go on Xanax, Lydia. Because weren't there some teasings? Is that even a word? Some teasers about them thinking maybe Alexis might have been coming back. Do you remember that?
Because someone actually put out a fake. It was like a photoshopped article that said Alexis and Tamra confirmed for their return, and then it turned out it was fake, and then it was Tamra was coming back, but it was. I think they didn't know, and obviously if Jenn didn't tell Tamra she was joining allegedly, then I could see why they were all like, wait, is she coming back too? Like, this is going to be weird. But she didn't, because I honestly don't think that. I mean, if she did, this would have been a much bigger shit show.
I mean, I would still be here for it,
Me too.
Bring back Jesus jugs. Let's do it. She was an enigma.
She was. I mean, Jesus. Oh God, Jesus jugs.
Killed me. So then we get to see Ryan. Oh my God. So he's a cowboy now. The fact that man is walking around Newport in a full-on like Stetson hat and that belt buckle, sir, where are you? What do you think you're doing? That was wild. Look what being a Trump supporter does to you.
I thought maybe he wouldn't be on camera anymore because of the backlash that he received from his stance. The cowboy hat. I don't get it. Listen, I know Newport Beach is mainly very conservative, and a lot of them there are Trump supporters. I just never knew that there was like a cowboy scene in Newport Beach. Like, I didn't. Maybe there is. I don't know. Maybe that's his vibe now, and I don't know. It's all learning curves for me. I'm trying to understand where everyone's at in their life,
in their
and
journey.
He seems to be. Yes.
I think it just screams like high school emo phase to me. It was to change your entire identity to when like you go to a party that you're wearing a cowboy hat, Wranglers cowboy boots, and a belt buckle in Southern California, sir. I mean, and the only one who had a belt buckle bigger than him at that party was Jenn with her logo. Oh my God. So maybe he did fit in. I don't know.
The logo mania is out of control lately.
Oh my God.
Out of control.
Listen, there was once upon a time I wanted one of those Gucci belts, but now they have been so overdone by the Laurens, the Ashleys, and well, the Caitlins and Beckys of this world that we are not doing those anymore. Okay.
And I don't care if all the queens come after me, but I am sick of seeing that Hermes belt on every single queen.
God.
I don't even want the belt. I know it's a classic belt to have. I don't want it. I don't. I refuse. I would rather stick to, listen, my style is like, I love clothing, obviously, and all that stuff, but I don't like doing the like label on label on label on label.
No.
Like, I don't care if it all matches. I don't care if it's a full Fendi. I'm very much on the page of Marlo Hampton. I'll splash some shit in there, but I don't want
not
it
wearing
to be
those
loud.
Earrings. You aren't wearing earrings. I wouldn't
like
be
able
her.
To. No, I have to give it to her though. Those earrings, I know were uncomfortable for her to sit. She had to be taking them out in between. There's no way. They're so big and heavy, right? Unless they're light, but if they're that big, they are gonna be heavy, even if they're not made out of like a heavy
or even just
material.
Just turning your head. Like if I have worn hoops, like sometimes it just kind of, if it catches on your shoulder a little bit or in your hair, that is not comfortable. Listen, I get it. It's very Marlo. I think, yeah. Yeah, it's just, but it's Newport, you know, it's where they wear the logo t-shirts and, you know, because here was the thing too. I remember whenever I was working at Saint Laurent and they had just gotten rid of all the logo tees and all of the logo belts, because there was a time, my friends, when it was, oh my God, on a daily basis, the way I had to answer, yep, nope, Eddie Slimane got rid of them. Sorry. Every time people love them. It's more accessible for someone than the $2,700, you know, sac de jour bag. Okay. Like that's, you know, anyway, here I go off on a YSL tangent again. Shannon shows up. I love that Tamara apologized again.
I know. Gross.
Yes. See, she does have growth, guys. She does, besties.
Who is out here saying that she has no growth? Are you joking me? She's grown immensely.
I think she's taken a lot of feedback, surprisingly. She's taken feedback in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to her confessional. I feel like she's going harder in confessional than I remember her going before.
And she always came hard in. She always did. She did a softer interview and she came full throttle in scene. Mm-hmm. But now she's pushing the gas still, but she's really like hitting the pedal in the interviews for sure. And she looks amazing in that black dress that she's wearing. That is like my favorite in a long time look of a housewife interview. I don't know what it is. She looks just glowing, her hair's flowing, and the dress is like a nice little black dress, but it's not too simple because it's got that like nice little cutout and it shows her nice shoulder. I don't know. Obsessed.
I'm digging it too. And she's using the champagne as the prop. I mean, I'm like, okay, are you trying to steal that from Fancy Pants? Oh, all right. I'm now something else I want to say. I love Heather's style this season. Okay. It is old money chic, and I dig that. She, just like you were saying, it is a simple small logo. Like, she wasn't doing the logo belt. It was the Louis Vuitton blazer, and then like listen, Heather wears a little black dress fantastically. And I don't know, it's almost seeming like Tamara's coming for her. She's got the shams, she's got the little black dress. Oh, okay.
I have to say, I agree with you, but I think also Heather read everyone's feedback from last season when she was in Logomania, because it was like every episode she was like Fendi stockings, Fendi skirt, Fendi sweater, and it was just like, I think people were like, you're already really like rich, Fancy Pants. We don't need you to be wearing the Logomania. So I think she went back to the drawing board, and I agree. That's a whole other bag of
oh my God.
Right there.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
No, her confessional look where she's wearing the leopard, stunning.
Love it.
Great.
Love it. And it's
like
Donna Karen, she said. Yeah.
I like the hair. The hair's a little sleeker or something. I don't know.
Yeah, she got like a gloss treatment on it. I think.
Of course she did.
I need one myself. Yeah, so I forgot to mention this at the top of the show. I haven't been doing as much gossip lately because, guys, it's Friends. It's just been like, it's been fairly chill. But Dorit, I never get plastic surgery ever. Kemsley owes a nurse $8,600 for allegedly not paying her after she took care of her in home for 36 hours, I think it was, after plastic surgery. She's being sued.
I think it was like 86 hours because she charges $100 an hour, which is how she got to the 8,600.
You're right.
The thing, though, this is where, whether this is true or not, the thing is there's smoke here. So something about this is true.
Yep.
I do not understand at this level why you've had all these accusations in the past. Remember Beverly Beach? I posted Throwback Thursday of when she was accosted in the Bahamas coming out of the pool because she owed allegedly $300,000 to somebody for like an investment they put in for Beverly Beach. There's been countless little stories here and there about her. Why? If you're going to go with plastic, if I was trying to hide that I was having plastic surgery, which I would never, I tell everyone I don't care. Like
Same.
I will, like I don't hide anything, but
Same.
I get, if you're going to hide it, and you're going to hire someone to come take care of your ass when you just get it, why? I would pay them up front.
That's what I was going to say.
Up front, NDA, what happens here stays here, baby. Here's your check. Go cash it. Then you can take care of me. So we are clear that you are not going to talk about this on any level. But for some reason... And then my DMs were popping off with people. My friend who's this was going to work with them and they wouldn't do a deposit. And my friend was like, oh, I'm not going to do the work without a deposit. And then they were like basically gaslighting these people like, oh, really? Like you don't want to work with us because we won't give you a deposit. Do you like all that? No. But it's like, no,
I want to get paid.
No, Dorit, no. Because it doesn't sound like you do pay people. And this nurse, I think Radar Online, shout out to Radar Online. They got I guess someone obtained a copy of the judgment where the court is there's another hearing because, now the nurse wants Dorit to bring her financial records so that she can really get paid. Like, I think she means like on the spot. Like, what's in your account today, Dorit?
That's embarrassing. I mean, she protested like from every inch of her being that she had plastic surgery. I mean, y'all, that as we age, our noses don't naturally get smaller. I think my biggest issue with people who won't admit it is the unrealistic beauty standards. We already know about those. So admit when, yes, you know what? I wanted to feel good about myself, and this is what I wanted to do to feel good about myself. Why? You're not encouraging everyone to go do it.
I think people need to also realize, like, when you're on such a public platform and you come back the next season and there's something a little off or a little different and you don't admit to it, people are going to speculate and make it a bigger thing. So you should just come out and you don't have to be like goofy about it. You can just be like, I got some work done because I didn't like this or whatever.
Like how Jen Fessler came in.
No matter what. Yes. But that's my point.
Perfect.
If you own it up front, then the producers don't have any leeway to make a thing of it. You know what I mean? Because they might do the flashback thing where they're like showing pictures of Dorit from high school when her nose is clearly not the nose that she has now. And I'm sorry, but yes, contour is amazing, guys. But contour only does so much.
I have
and
contour
if you
right
over
now.
contour, but even if you overly contour, you see that it's contoured. It's not. Unless you're on a red carpet and the cameras are flashing and you don't see, then it's perfect. But you're on a TV show, it's HD. You're not contouring that heavy.
Teresa Giudice.
What's going on there? Her face looks swollen in the last Instagram. Okay, I'm not going to go down that road.
No, we're not going.
We're not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
No, we're not.
She looks great.
It looks fabulous.
Love.
We're not gonna pop that love, Baba.
We went way off track with Dorit and all that. But where were we? Why did we go there?
Because of Heather's
something to do with plus
outfits, and
That's right.
Listen, there was a through line. Okay. There was at the very least. So when Gina brings up the post that Jenn put up, Gina does not like Jenn.
No, she does not at all. Even Emily was like, she normally doesn't do this type of thing, but like, she was like, I'm getting my damn orange. Who is this newbie coming in here a little cheating?
And also, I think it's very telling where Jenn and Tamara's relationship ends up, the way Jenn is speaking about her in confessional, because we know confessional happens later. So something's, so Jenn put up this post where it was like this, like the hallelujah, whatever. And I know you remember this. It was on TikTok trending a while ago.
I was trying to think of which soundbite it was because he obviously won't let us hear it for copyright issues.
Right. So it would be like, I don't know, like some quieter music, right? And then someone would be telling something about their life story. It'd be like, first, I think even Allie, Jill Zarin's daughter, made one with that, talking about the sperm donor that she came from. And it's like, they'd be like, here's this part of the story. And then they'd be like the crazy part of the story, right? And it would be like gospel music. And then it would die down. And then it'd be the gospel music, right? I'm pretty sure that's what that was. Not 1,000% sure, but that's what makes the most sense to me. And I just am like, listen, Jenn could have probably done just about any scenario with that. She could have been like, grew up in Oklahoma and then ended up in Southern California if she wanted to be out of Oklahoma. You know what I mean? Like there were a lot of things she could have done that were not our business survived COVID and posting that the day before. She got the idea to use that because she knew Tamara's business closed. Whether I don't think she was trying to take a dig at Tamara, but I think that prompted in her brain.
It inspired her to make that though, I think.
Yeah.
She just didn't think Gina was going to be petty Betty and be like, hey, homewrecker, why'd you make that post about your business succeeding? And on the day of Tamara's cut closing? I'm like, Gina, Jesus, tone it back, man. We have like 12 more weeks of filming, girl. Like, calm down.
I mean... And the thing was, like, I forgot for a second that Gina's not drinking. the way she was like going in like that, I genuinely forgot because I thought surely maybe Gina's just had too much to drink and she's like looking for something stupid, but no.
She was clear and very like straight on. She was like, oh, okay.
Boop. Yeah. And then I'm sorry, I lost my place here. So we're at the dinner table when Gina brings it up in front of Tamra. I mean, stir that pot, honey. Okay. And we see some of the Tammy Sue growth because Tammy Sue most likely would have been like, what? How could you do that? Like she would have full on been like, old Tamara would have really gone in and we would have seen Tammy Sue for sure.
I thought she was going to flip her shit.
I did too.
In that moment.
So did Heather.
Because of how sensitive. Yeah. And that's why Heather told Gina, like, maybe don't bring it up here, which I agreed with. I was like, I don't think this is the place. That makes it all sting more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I have to applaud Tamra for not really going in because we know how Tamra gets when she's put in a position like that. And that I'm sorry, that is very insensitive. I would never do that. Even if I thought it was a good idea or a good concept for my business, out of respect for my friend who's also filming this show with me and is filming her gym shutting down, essentially, I'm not going to throw it in her face. It's a little different. I mean,
yeah, agreed. I'm not. Yeah, that was poor taste and timing. Yeah. Okay, so this is the moment where we get down a little bit more to the timeline between Jenn and Ryan, which also, by the way, if y'all watched the Never Before scene, I nearly had a heart attack for a second because they have on the Chiron at the bottom panty dropping moms panty dropping housewives exposed. I was like, excuse me, what is on the TV? Yes. When they show, like, I guess, I don't know, Emily took her underwear off because she said it was too hot and put it in her purse. Emily.
Well, I mean, where else would she put it? But I mean, like.
She was going to go walk over and hand it to Shane, which fine, that's one thing. But why are you taking off your underwear? I have never been so hot that I had to take my
I was going to ask, does it get
off?
Yeah, like have you ever been in a situation where you're wearing a dress and it's just like, oh, it's so hot, this underwear's got to go?
No, not that the underwear had to go. Maybe the bra was too hot, but still, like, listen, I'm not an A cup, so I that's not going to fit in my clutch. So no, I haven't taken off undergarments because I was hot. The C cups aren't going to fit in my borderline D's aren't going in my clutch. Okay. I wouldn't be able to shut it.
If I did do that, I would go to the bathroom and quietly take those things off. And I wouldn't say a thing because I wouldn't know how they would edit that.
Oh yeah. No, she sure did. And then Gina was like, oh, you wear underwear? I never wear underwear. But I'm actually wearing some today. Yeah, probably because you are wearing those Spanx leggings everywhere you go. And I swear to God, if you're wearing those without underwear, please. I'm not one of those people like, you're not going to hear any stories about me in public without underwear on because that's not me. Okay? Don't you worry. I know y'all.
This is not the early 2000s anymore, guys.
No.
Put those panties on.
Yes, they even make some that are like sticky. Like it's like one strip. Now, those are a problem if it gets too hot. Actually, I lied. There is one time I had to do that because I was at a film festival in like a gown and it was really warm and I was in New Jersey and it stopped sticking and it was at my calves. And so, yes, you better believe that came off but that was like in the bathroom that I went and did that. So I was like waddling my way over there.
Oh, you weren't filming a scene for a reality show when you did that?
No, actually I wasn't that time. Nope. No. Darn. Hate when that happens. They miss everything. So when Gina starts going ahead and question Gina's talking shit about the infidelity. That's where I thought she'd been drinking, but obviously she hasn't been. Emily, being her attorney, starts questioning Jenn about if basically she asked her family to give her ex Will a job in Oklahoma because she wanted an affair. Like, go to Oklahoma while I stay here in SoCal. Go deal with the tornadoes. Go deal with all of it, and I'll stay here and have my little affair. But weird, because it kind of does seem like that. I don't know what Will does, but if he went back to Oklahoma, it had to have been to work in oil or something for them to have that much money. That's the only thing I can imagine. I
feel like it is oil money.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't talked about it though, right? They haven't really discussed what the business is. Yeah, no, listen, you know what it is? And this is why earlier I said, clearly Tamra is Jenn's friend still, because she could have let her hang herself to dry, because obviously Tamra knows more about this story and timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And she's watching Jenn kind of, in my opinion, wash over it ever so gently. And I think that's when Tamra was like, you just need to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And she's like, but I am. You're not, though.
No.
Because then Tamra's in her interview and she's like, well, it was completely a different situation. It was very uncomfortable. And then we go into like, but then the flashing to Gina standing with Shane and, forgive me, I'm blanking on Gina's man's name.
Travis.
Mm-hmm. Just how triggered and angry she is. Now, I understand if you don't like that behavior or whatnot, but if I met someone who did do that in their previous situation, am I going to applaud you for that behavior? No, but also like, it is what it is now. I didn't know you at that point. I know you now. So I want to get to know you based on that. It's one thing for you to want to understand the timeline, but Gina's like acting like Jenn broke up her family too. Like,
right.
It was just a weird
or like a friend's
reaction.
family.
Yeah.
And like, listen, I'm fully on board with you there. I know it sounds like, I'm sure people are like, well, how hypocritical, y'all freaking out over Scandoval. And that's different scenario. And it's, listen, some relationships, that's how they start and how they end. And, this is one of those moments where you can say people have affairs all the time. This is one of those moments and where you also say it doesn't make it right.
Mm-mm.
So we're not going to rehash Scandoval.
It's not, no, but that's the thing I think too, that people need to understand is every situation is different. It's not excusable, but like a good example of this is Eileen Davidson. She met her love of her life and they had an affair, and no, it's a sticky situation, but like at some point you got to move on,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I agree. Because the timeline here that I did take away, though, was that Tamra says in confessional that, well, Ryan started going to cut in April or May during COVID, and Will caught Jenn and Ryan in a car together in October. And then Jenn claims in confessional, no, there was no sex in a car. Ryan gave me a gift. What?
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
That's what you call it. So yeah, then we get to the cake, and I love, first of all, Emily wanting to eat the kettlebell. I got full flashbacks of Heather Dubrow being like, she ate the bow off of my cake. I was like, Emily, don't do it.
How dramatic that was such a dramatic scene. The bow on the cake situation. Do you remember how elevated it got with Heather, and the camera was moving and they were showing people moving back and forth trying to figure out where this woman was. Did you eat the bow on her? It was yeah, what are you going to do about it?
I mean, it's not something I would have done, but
no, but come on.
We want to talk about going to a DEFCON 1. Come on. Over nothing?
That was really exaggerated for no reason. It was funny, but it was no.
Right. And so yeah, basically they're just smashing the cake in each other's faces, and I'm in agreement with Emily. What a waste of a good cake. Damn.
Yeah. I love good cake.
Yeah, me too. Ugh. No cake for me today. But yeah, I mean, then I guess they're gonna be going to Montana soon. And the previews of that when they're all dressed up and Shannon is dressed as like a saloon worker. Shannon loves a good costume party, okay?
Oh, she loves a costume party, man. She loves a good theme.
Loves
God bless her.
And yeah, so that was the full episode there, and I'm looking forward to what we have coming still. I
know. We're just getting started. That's the thing, though. You know what I mean? Was it episode 3?
Yeah, episode 3.
I feel like it's like 7 episodes in. I know a lot of people disagree with me, but I actually find this being very entertaining.
I do too. It's it's what we tune into Housewives for, okay? Because just like I said in the TikTok that I just went off in, and I texted you right after. I was like, I may have gone too hard. But I had just had it, and I had actually made a video just like that, like 2 months prior to posting that, and I got too scared and deleted it. That's the point I was at. So, Bravo should be fun. It should be fun.
I can't wait for BravoCon.
Oh my God, I know. I'm anxious because I know those tickets are probably going on sale next month or the month after, and it is the down payment on a Corolla, like you said.
Well, Tammy hasn't cussed us out, so maybe if we are nice to her, perhaps she might give us some guest passes.
Oh, Georgio, look at you being a blogger in a housewife's pocket. How
Could you imagine? They would be so pissed. Everyone would be so angry.
Listen, y'all, because what we're going to be paying, it might surprise you. We don't make much doing this.
That is the thing. Like, they need to give us content creators a bit of a discount.
I agree.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
Fully agree.
But thankfully, you should. Do you have an LLC?
No.
Get an LLC, baby. Write that off. That's what I'm doing.
I know, but you and I know there's some changes coming, so I may.
Yeah,
right. I may as well wait on that LLC. Okay, well, friends, you know what? Tune in next week. If Georgio's available, I'll have him back because we just have fun talking Orange County. So go find Georgio at Georgio Says, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and his podcast. You can find that one on Spotify as well. And thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I can't wait to do this again. OC's killing it.
So much fun. Yes. And y'all leave a nice review and check out the Etsy shop. I've got fun stuff in there that I have been literally drawing things out and designing on my iPad. I've been a maniac. I just don't stop. So again, see you next week. Okay. Bye, friends.
Bye, guys.